Hey, my wonderful divine feminine Leo placements. Happy September. Can you believe we're here? Welcome to your monthly extended Tarotscope for the month of September. My name is Christina, Ginger Mama. For those of you new to my page, I break down the monthly extended Tarotscope I separate it by divine feminine and divine masculine energy for each sign. The reason I do this is because most of us are wounded in some way. We're more imbalanced in our masculine or feminine energy. And so if you're more avoidant, you run, you ghost, you're not as emotionally tapped in, then you're likely more wounded masculine energy. If you are more overly in your emotions, anxiously attached, etc., you're probably more in your wounded feminine energy. We're all trying to get back to balance here in some way, okay? So feel free to watch both because you do fluctuate between the energies and you might take something from both. You can also check out your rising or your moon sign or your Venus if you feel called, or if you have that person you're thinking of, counterpart, soulmate, feel free to check out theirs. My website, gingermama.com, also has free blog content, and one of my blogs on there has a breakdown. It's like a bullet pointed list of like wounded feminine, healed feminine, wounded masculine, healed masculine. So that might be helpful for you. All right, before we dive in, I want to talk about what I was channeling for you. What I was channeling for divine feminine Leo placements was someone like near a river or a stream. It almost felt like kind of like Pocahontas energy. Like, I don't know, like you putting your toe in the water, like you're just like, I am connected infinitely to everything. And like, this so wholeheartedly. It's like maybe this month you're extra tapped into like the weather, the seasons, just that earth energy, water energy might be significant. I feel like I know you're a fire sign, right? I'm an Aries sun, so I totally get it. But it's grounding a little bit more, right, into Mother Earth, Mama Gaia. So with the change of seasons occurring too this month, I feel like this is really significant for you. So maybe definitely focus on getting out in nature. But we'll start to dive into the astrology and the cards and see if anything else comes in, okay? We start out the month on the 5th. Well, we'll start out on the 1st, but the first thing I see important is on the 5th, we have Venus in Virgo. We're in Virgo season. Venus in Virgo is asking us when it comes to love, Venus is the planet of love, of course, is asking us to get very clear and grounded about what it is we want in a romantic partnership, okay? And so ask yourself, really take the time. It doesn't have to be long, 5 minutes, right? Take a piece of paper or your cell phone, write it out, type it out. What would you want in an ideal partner? And most people would start to say clear communication. I want someone who's emotionally available, someone who's sexy and passionate, who has a great job, who likes kids, who is kind, who likes animals, has their own hobbies, like whatever it is. List it, okay? And then look at that list and go through it and ask yourself, do I embody all of the things I'm expecting of someone else? Okay? So if you're going through the list and you're like, wait a second, my career's not in check, or wait a second, I don't have my own hobbies, or wait a second, I'm not really good at communicating, or whatever it might be for you, ask yourself what that imbalance is, okay? This is all about matching energy frequencies. So especially when we're trying to manifest or call in love, or if we're already in a connection, we're trying to improve that, we need to really get clear. Am I embodying this? And how can I do a better job of this, okay? Take the focus off of this other person or this future person and put it inward. Because if you're doing the work and you're becoming that embodiment, you're going to naturally draw in other suitors or partners that are at that same frequency as you, okay? And it's going to be much like easier, clean. Again, whether it's someone from the past that's healed or someone new coming in, okay? That next day, we have the moon going into Aquarius. Not a big deal. Normally, obviously, the moon transits signs all the time throughout the month. The reason I note this is because it stays there till the 8th, and on the 8th, it is conjunct Saturn. So we have Aquarius conjunct Saturn. Aquarian energy, opposite on the zodiac grid of Leo energy as well. So Leo energy is more, that you thing, and Aquarian energy is more collective energy, right? So we're all being asked as a collective to ask, where do we fit into the big piece of the puzzle, okay? What is my soul, your soul, uniquely designed to do here on this earth plane while we're here? And ask yourself, am I doing that? Am I taking the risk to embody my most authentic self? And sometimes this starts small, you know, maybe initially you're like, I'm going to dress a little different. I'm going to wear my makeup a little bit different. Like, do these small things this month to just be authentically you and see how it's received, okay? And go forward with that. And also, this conjunction is asking you to really tap into the people around you, okay? Are you around the energies you want to be around? Coworkers, family, friends, potentially lovers, right? Like, how are you feeling in that energy, okay? Does it feel really joyful and peaceful and calm? Is it equal give and take? Are they nurturing you? Are you nurturing them? Or is this a really big imbalance? Is there a lot of gossip and drama? Are you always the one doing this or that, or always planning? That's not balanced. So take a step back if it's not, and just communicate clearly to these people. If they're really your friends, close family, they're going to understand. All you need to say is, hey, I know this sounds weird, but I'm going to take the month of September to myself. I'll reach back out in October. And then reach back out in October. Okay? I know it sounds like, oh, are you sure it's going to work? Yeah. And take that time. Make sure you're really healing that anxious attachment style you might hold. And go inward. And every time you feel the need to reach out to someone or make plans or ask if you're doing it right, ask yourself why that is. You hold all the answers within you, okay? So keep doing that. On the 9th, we have Mercury retrograde starting. It gets a lot of attention. So be careful, especially when it comes to anything with work. You're double checking your technology. Sometimes technology can glitch out. We can just have weird mishaps with that, whatever that might be. So check in with that. Travel, be mindful of that. There could be delays. Be careful about who you're traveling with. Make sure it's the right energy. But don't get in your head if these delays occur. That's very normal. Also, past energies, okay? Past karmic partners, past sexual partners. Could be the soulmate or the twin flame or whatever. Expect potential communication, okay? That is very common during retrograde. This is a time we want to tie up loose ends, tie up those threads, and just speak the truth. So if someone reaches out to you, hey, what's up, whatever, make sure you're holding the boundary. Make sure, and if you haven't already, make sure you're speaking the truth. Hey, yeah, I really care about you. I want a relationship with you. I want to be dating you. And if we're not dating, I don't want to be communicating. Because at this point, you have a history with this person, right? And so every time you allow them back in that weird friendship, situationship way, you always get hurt. So you have the strength to do this. Strength comes out, okay? So really focus on this. The 10 of Pentacles reverse tells me that many of you might be putting too much time and thought into like this spiritual side of you and like into relationships right now. And this is all about balancing spirituality with practicality. You got to get practical when it comes to your finances, Leos. Again, Leo energy, the Leo card. You have the strength to do this. Where is your soul uniquely designed to fit into the collective puzzle? And especially when it comes to work, are you happy in work? How is it working for you? What's going on with finances? If you're experiencing financial drain, that's a sign from the universe that you're not paying attention to something. You're not adjusting where they're asking you to adjust. Are you not releasing these people that you know you need to release? Are you not closing out past cycles? Maybe you've had a divorce. Maybe just the idea of you thought you'd be married with kids by now or whatever it is. Release this, okay? The 10th, we have the full moon in Pisces. Full moons are all about release, okay? So get really clear with yourself. I feel like many of you are going to feel around that full moon energy. The sun reversed, like you're going to feel in a darker place, okay? Judgment reversed. It's like you've been so possibly critical of other people or maybe this masculine energy that you haven't been looking inward and being like, how am I a problem in this, you know? And I encourage especially divine feminines to write, to type. I mean, you don't have to send it to anyone, but type it out and then reread it. Sometimes when we reread it, we get to the conscious awareness of like, okay, I definitely could have done that differently. Oh, I'm embarrassed by that one. But yeah, that was also occurring. I didn't have boundaries. You know, judge yourself right now, or you're going to continue to feel weaker and weaker, and you do not want to feel like that, okay? Action is always the way forward. And some of you are taking actions before you're actually following your intuition or unlocking your chakras. It's like you might be getting angry or upset and just like, well, forget that then. I'm going to the next thing. And we can't just run to the next lover or partner or person if we haven't pulled back to understand why it didn't work in the first place, because it takes two people to screw up a connection, always. There was a moment in time where boundaries were crossed or things were not communicated clearly. And if we're always putting the blame on someone else, we're avoiding doing our own internal work, okay? So keep that in mind. You might be feeling really rocky around that full moon if you don't. But let me tell you, there's good news, okay? If you can do that work around the 10th, release, 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 channel any anger, resentment, pain, write it out, whatever you need to do, dance, sing, cry, shake, do it, okay? Energetically release it. Towards the end of the month, 23rd, 25th, 29th, okay? 25th, we have the new moon in Virgo. 29th, we have Venus in Libra. You're going to be feeling much better. Wishes fulfilled. You're going to be feeling much more balanced. You're going to feel like you just made this massive, like, timeline shift, like quantum leap, where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much I've changed from September, early September to the end of September. And that's what we want each month. But understand, if you don't do the work around that full moon, this new moon might also feel really like a tower moment, okay? Because new moons generally feel better unless we're fighting against what source is trying to guide us to. And I always tell my clients this, because in my own awakening journey, I realized, oh my goodness, if I don't do the work, then I feel worse around these moon cycles, especially the full moon. But then, bam, if I didn't do it the full moon, at the new moon I do. And then there's another full moon coming in 2 weeks later, okay? So if you can release and just go through that and go with the cycles, read your astrology, daily, like really tap into that, okay? Get into nature, really ground, maybe writing in nature, typing outside, picnic tables, something like that. Putting your feet in water, swimming, whatever it is. Connect with nature, release. You're going to be feeling much better by the end of the month. But right now, I do not feel like you should be focused on love. I feel like you should be focused on, there's no victory if you're focusing on love this month. None. And if anything, you should be like, you know what? September's a great month to do this. There's no holidays right now. I need to clear this space out so that as I approach the holiday season, I can feel more balanced and realigned and know what I'm actually calling in, okay? So focus on that right now. Not love, focus on you. What is the work you need to be doing? How do you want to really rebirth yourself, right? Are you happy in your career? Are you happy with your friendships? Are you overdoing it? Are you going out too much? Why is it you cannot pull back and go internally? All right. Sorry, my thing got wonky. I was like, oh my goodness, that almost stopped. So let me move on to the Moon Oracle card. It's all going to be good for you, okay? But I'm telling you, I feel like especially by Scorpio season, you're going to be feeling much better. I know we still have Libra season after this, but if you can do this work, I feel like this work is going to be not just Virgo season, but Libra season for you. And if you can really dive in, you're going to be feeling much better, Divine Feminines, okay? But you got to heal that anxious attachment style that says, I need to run to the next thing without reflecting on the past thing, okay? Expect powerful change. Nothing is yet set in stone, and it's time to take action. What am I talking about, okay? But this is not action with love right now this month, you guys. This is action with your own work with Source, okay? And I promise you, I know it seems like a long time, like a month. It's going to go so fast. If you dive right in and follow what we're talking about on the 5th and the 8th and the 10th, and the 23rd, 25th, you're going to be feeling so good by the end of the month, okay? You're going to feel like you really made progress, all right? So I love all of you. If you'd like to book a personal reading, my website is gingermama.com. Happy to discuss any of this further with you. I also have free blog content there, and I share free content to TikTok all the time. I'm also on Instagram to a limited degree, and I'm happy to meet you on any of those platforms. But I believe in you. You got this. Keep going, okay? Feel free to subscribe if this rings a bell. Also, tap in, especially if you're going through it. The middle of the month or around that full moon, it's a great time to rewatch a video like this and say, okay, did that resonate the first 10 days of the month? Oh my gosh, it did. I better keep going, right? Like, because they do. It's amazing. Even my own content, I'm always like, well, that was creepy how accurate that was. So focus on that, okay? I love all of you. I will see you back next month. Have a great night.